Oh, what you doing there? Oh, I ain't see you there. You doing good? You doing good? Come on, man. Give me a handshake. Give me a handshake. Or you just gonna leave me hanging? Alright, welcome back to another video. I just came on here, you know what I'm saying, to address the slander that has been happening on LeBron James' name. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, it's been a lot of chit and chatter of LeBron not being a top 10 defender, Jordan being a better defender than LeBron or whatnot. But I don't really think people understand what LeBron brings to the defensive side of the ball. You know, he may not be a one-on-one, you know, type of defender. What he really excels at, though, is being a help defender. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, help defender. I seen Tony Allen saying that LeBron is only known for chase down blocks, and he's only known for, you know, or many other people say he's only known for that one block. That block by James, he's only known for that, which is not true. You know what I'm saying? If you watch basketball, you understand basketball. You know what I'm saying? And don't just look at it from a one-on-one standpoint. LeBron is, like I said, what he really excels at is being a roamer. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that, you know, a lot of times you see LeBron, you know, often guard the weakest offensive player. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, you know, look at that and think, oh, he's a defensive liability. That's why he's guarding the weakest player. No, what he's really doing is overseeing everything else happening on the defensive side of the ball, and basically he's able to communicate easier rather than him guarding the best player and everything happening behind him. You know what I'm saying? All the mismatches, all the floppy screens, all the pen downs and all that. When you're guarding the weakest player, you're able to see all that. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much a lot of defensive players or a lot of star players do that. You know what I'm saying? Kobe, who often gets, you know, classified as a tenacious defender, even he gets put on the weakest offensive player so it can help the team communicate better. So if there is a situation where, you know, Kobe has to switch on to somebody, he can. You know what I'm saying? If there's a situation where LeBron has to switch on somebody, he can. If he sees something that may lead to a mismatch, he can communicate. You know what I'm saying? Or he can switch it himself. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't have to, you know, switch off the best player and give the best player room to operate or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Occasionally you may see LeBron on, you know, somebody like KD, you know what I'm saying, for a possession or two. But you're not going to see no star player on another star player for an entire game. You know what I'm saying? Especially a player, a two-way star. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like Kobe or Bron. You know what I'm saying? You can go back and watch. There's never been a game where Kobe has guarded the best player for the entire game. You know what I'm saying? Or LeBron has guarded the best player for the entire game. It's not because they're not good defensively. It's because, you know what I'm saying, it can help them communicate to the team better. And I just keep repeating the same thing. And also the reason why stuff like that happens is because, you know what I'm saying, when you have a player like LeBron who is basically carrying the entire team offensively, and he's the person initiating the offense, he's the person making sure everybody's in the right spots, basically an extension of the coach on the court, or a lot of times he may be the coach, you know what I'm saying, drawing up plays in the huddle or whatnot. You gotta preserve some of that energy on the defensive side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? So if you're guarding the best player and you have to carry the offensive load also, you know what I'm saying, you can't tire yourself out trying to chase around Curry off of a screen. You know what I'm saying? You can't chase Clay around off of a screen. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna tire you out. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes time for the defense or the offensive side of the ball, now you gotta take a breather there. Now you gotta get the ball out of your hands when you're supposed to be the guy with the ball in his hands. You know what I'm saying? Now it's messing up the offensive rhythm because you don't have the ball in your hands when the whole offense is built around you. It's more than just best player on best player. It's preserving energy. It's, you know, waiting to the right situation to switch on. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you may see somebody like LeBron, he may not start the game on the team's best player, but if the player starts off hot, you know what I'm saying, later on you might see him switch on to him. you know, to slow him down or whatnot. Or a lot of times you may see, you know, a team play a zone, you know what I'm saying, especially with LeBron, and basically all they're doing is just beating them to the spot. You know what I'm saying? Rather than it being a one-on-one situation or a man-to-man situation, all they're doing is playing zone, so Bron's able to communicate and point people to certain spots on the floor so they can cut them off or whatnot. A lot of times you see that. You know what I'm saying? On the defensive side, it's more of a communication thing more than it is a one-on-one, on-ball defensive type of situation. And a lot of people I've seen a lot of people say that, you know, Jordan's a better on-ball defender than LeBron. You know what I'm saying? But what they don't realize is Jordan wasn't really guarding the 4 or the 5. Jordan, he was, when it comes to, you know, playing a guard, for example, I feel like Jordan's more equipped than LeBron because of the quickness. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that LeBron can't guard a guard, but say for instance if Bron and Jordan was on the same team and they had to guard Curry. You know what I'm saying? Jordan would be on Curry more than LeBron would be on Curry. You know what I'm saying? Because not only is Bron a bigger player, so on the perimeter he may not be as quick as a Curry, but Jordan is quick. You know what I'm saying? Jordan is quick on his feet, so, you know, on the perimeter he may be more equipped. You know what I'm saying? But LeBron, like I said, his strengths are help defense and, you know what I'm saying, being able to switch. You know what I'm saying? Being able to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Being able to be a roamer, get in the passing lanes, get into, you know, like I said, in case there needs to be a switch, getting in position for a chase down block, that some people think is the only thing he does. Being able to, you know, at times protect the rim, even though he's not really a rim protector. He occasionally may be able to meet somebody at the rim, you know what I'm saying, or at least deter the shot. It's more that goes into defense more than just one-on-one on-ball defense. It's a difference between a LeBron and a Tony Allen. And I'm gonna bring it back to Tony Allen. Tony Allen was able to focus heavily on the defensive side of the ball because he didn't have to worry much about offense. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to worry about bringing the ball up the floor and initiating the offense. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to worry about putting the ball in the basket. You know what I'm saying? He was strictly there for defense. So all he had to do was worry about defense. You know what I'm saying? All he had to do was worry about the opposition. You know what I'm saying? Guarding the KDs and the Kobe's and, you know what I'm saying, the team's best player. That's all he had to worry about. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure if he had to worry about, you know, also initiating the offense, not only knowing the other team's plays, but knowing, you know, his team's plays from top to bottom, from inside to out. If he had to do all that, I'm sure his defensive reputation would be different too. For defense, it's more of a mental thing, if anything. Switch it back to LeBron. A lot of times you hear that LeBron knows another team's plays inside and out. You know what I'm saying? He's able to, you know, he's able to notice the play before the team even knows the play. You know what I'm saying? Which, like I said, I think that fits back into LeBron being a great defensive player. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure there's some defensive players that may not even know, you know what I'm saying, the other team's plays, which that can hinder, you know, a team's rhythm. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't just affect one player, it may affect the whole team's rhythm, because now everybody has to be out of place. Now they have to find different ways to disguise it, so it really hurts the team as a whole rather than just making it hard for that one player. You know what I'm saying? And if you hurt the entire team's rhythm, then it's going to be hard to win the game. And I think LeBron's strengths, like I said, not only fits as a help defender, but it also fits as just a team defender. You know what I'm saying? LeBron's a more team, you know, defender more than anything. You know what I'm saying? In a team, he may not be one-on-one and it's me versus you, mano-a-mano, but in a team setting in which the game of basketball was built off of, LeBron's an excellent defender. You know what I'm saying? It just looks a certain way. You know what I'm saying? He's not chasing people off of screens or whatnot unless he has to. You know what I'm saying? Because there's been instances where he had to do that. There's a lot of players in the NBA that may be great one-on-one players, but if you put them in a team situation, they can't communicate. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the other team's plays, so they may get hit with a screen they didn't know was coming. You know, it may be a moment where they have to switch, or they miss the switch, and that leads to a mismatch. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff that goes into basketball that I think people don't really understand, especially defense. You know what I'm saying? Man's top 10, at least one of the greatest versatile defenders ever. Can guard 1 through 4, maybe even a 5, depending on the lineup. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. The LeBron slander has to stop. And yeah, appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah.